Hey guys and gals, Nary here for Drake Wing Gaming. As some of you know on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you in another Let's Play episode of Echo Flynn's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. We're in the spooky month now, y'all, so I'm gonna be using some Halloween openings and such. Anyway, yeah, let's see. Alrighty. Okay, let's do it. Another sheepish smile. I managed one in return this time. I take a bite of the treat, and to my surprise, it's actually pretty okay cold. After a moment, I noticed a little blue light flashing on my phone. New message. A pang of guilt sets in as I realize my first thought is, please don't be Leo. Hope your camera's okay. I sigh. It's not. I scroll down and notice a message below it. Come over? Shit, Carl's interview's today, isn't it? I don't want to be bumming him out too much. It's fine. I pause. I'll be over soon. There. I set the phone back down the nightstand and toss the treat wrapper into the bin beside the bed. TJ glances up at me momentarily. He's also looking at his phone. Carl's got a job interview in Peyton today. TJ looks up from his phone, grinning. Wow, that's really great. I still remember when he worked at that market shop when we used to have on Elizabeth Street. Where's this one at? Print shop, I think. I don't know. Carl seems kind of hesitant to talk about it. Oh. Well, tell him that I wish him good luck and that it's always really important that you smile. If you look like you're happy and excited, then the interviewer might get that way too. It's infectious, right? Right! I've gotten literally all my jobs just because my parents were friends with somebody who was hiring. I suppose I never really had to worry about interviewing. A noise comes from outside, the sound of jingling keys and the door being unlocked. So, the police finally showed up. Jenna steps inside, giving me a bit of a curious look over when she notices I'm still in my sleepwear. Are they going to do anything? I doubt it. She strides across the room, grabbing a bottle of water from the mini-fridge. Why is that? The cops seem more suspicious of me than anything. She lets out a little sigh of exasperation. They asked me if I had been taking any drugs. Jesus. Guess they're not used to seeing people our age around here that aren't. I think it was more anti-native sentiment than anything. Really? Yes. Jenna looks back to me. Chase, you really should shower. I blink. What? I noticed when I walked in. This whole room is your oily musk scent. It's not very flattering. I frown deeply, covering my armpits and pushing my tail back over my behind. Alright, I was going to anyway. Our eyes to stand before moving to the bathroom. TJ gives me a sympathetic look as I pass. I shut the door behind me after stepping inside. With a few quick tugs, I remove my shirt and underwear, then place them on the edge of the counter. At home, I just throw them on the floor, but I don't really trust how clean the linoleum is here. I step into the shower. It gets hot quick, so I fiddle with the handle some. There's some gray fur tucked in the corner, so I'm guessing TJ took one this morning. I bend down and pick up the tiny complimentary shampoo bottle from the rack and begin to lather the contents over my body. It's not exactly the best for my type of fur, but it'll work for now. Though I still can't shake the feeling that I have cigarette smoke baked into my pores. You know, in comparison to the communal dorm showers, this is actually kind of nice. Contrary to what many may think, they're not as sexy as porn makes you believe. I begin lathering further down. Usually I rub one out during shower time, though at the moment I'm pretty devoid of those feelings. Ever since I got here back to Echo, I felt more detached from everything than I usually do. Like, all the stuff is going on around me and I'm just here. When I woke up this morning, it was as if I wasn't sure what was the dream and what was real. I don't even recall what the dream was about. TJ distracted me before I could really archive it, or however it works with remembering dreams. There's this feeling of sorrow, fear, and general helplessness. And all of a sudden, power, or agency? I'm not sure how to describe it. It's familiar, but I don't know why. Like strange nostalgia, rose-tinted happiness. Taking out water time. I know there's some more content for Flynn if you choose a different path in the club, so I'm going to explore that later. Dudes, I don't know about this. I peek into the bathroom, watching as Carl stares at himself in the mirror, running his fingers through his hair. I'm sure you look fine. Easy for you to say, you can't even grow hair. Carl sets the trimmer down, running his fingers through his beard. You tell him. You tell him, Chase. Carl looks at me, and I have to agree that he looks quite a bit better. You look fantastic, a lot cleaner. Thanks? Now you might want to get some gamer stink off of you. You smell like JRPGs and energy drinks. I find myself snickering, though Carl doesn't look anywhere near the point of laughter. He just quietly shuts the door in my face. So, Chase, I didn't expect I'd see you again. Look over to Daxton, who's standing beside the bathroom door with his arms crossed. Neither did I. Carl asked me to come over, so I did. Daxton nods. Do you think he's got this? I haven't known Carl long enough to say, really. I hope he does. I can't help but thinking a lot of things could go wrong, you know? Carl doesn't get out much. It's weird thinking about the future like that, isn't it? I cocked my head some in the amphibian's direction. What do you mean? The infinite possibilities of things that can happen. So, expect the worst? With an infinite number of timelines, there's no such thing as worst-case scenario. Just an infinite number of varying shades of bad. Do you actually believe that? He clicks his tongue, waving his hand dismissively. No, it was an episode of Ad Astra. Yeah. Daxton perks a furrowless brow toward me at the sound of the front door opening. We turn and make our way toward the entrance hall next to the kitchen. The familiar heavy footfalls are a dead giveaway of who's here. And no job interviews were a fucking group event. Flynn's tall form meanders in, carrying a few Tupperware containers in a plastic bag. He doesn't look at either of us. Well, he wanted us to be here. I didn't have anything else going on. He's in the shower now. I fidget with the inside of my pockets, trying to look nonchalant. Daxton's big blue eyes dart from me to Flynn, then back again. I have to go pee in something. I'll be right back. I have to go pee in something? A weird way of saying you can go to the bathroom. Flynn's mouth twitches, as if he's about to call Daxton back, but relents. Instead, he sets the bag on the kitchen island and begins rifling through it. His large tail twitches and he furrows his brow, seemingly trying really hard to concentrate on whatever he's doing, which, as I look closer, is essentially just rearranging the Tupperware in the bag over and over. Flynn. He stops. He shifts his gaze towards me, and I'm at a loss of what to say. Part of me wants to call him a fucking weird, hypocritical asshole. The other part, well, I'm not really sure about the other part yet. Maybe if I just broach the topic of Chase. None of this shit matters. Gestures between us. I'm not gonna try to speak cryptic to you here about feelings and shit. I just need to know you're gonna keep your promise, okay? He's frowning down at me, but his expression is more uneasy than outright stern. Flynn. Fuck! His fist hits the countertop, and next thing I know, he's moving around the kitchen and grabbing paper towels. Lasagna's goddamn leaking everywhere. It's like a fucking menstrual pad in there. Ew! Why'd you bring lasagna? Because Lord-ass needs to eat something besides pizza and self-hatred for a change. As opposed to you who eat salads and self-hatred? Oh, shut the fuck up. At least I have a self. What's that supposed to mean? What's that supposed to mean? Flynn doesn't respond. They get a little busy with stacking paper towels underneath the bag before shoving it in the fridge. I hear the sound of hooves on floorboards and turn around. Carl had shuffled into the living room so quietly we didn't even notice. How does it look? Oh, wrong accent. How does it look? He looks good, but I'm more concerned with the fact that he looks more insecure than I've ever seen before. Water time. Ooh. He shifts from hoof to hoof, not making eye contact at all, his fingers pulling at the rolled-up sleeves. Very nice! You look kind of like you're pledging Alpha Lambda, but it still works. What? Carl looks over at me and I give a start, realizing how bad my silence must have seemed. You do look great, Carl. But, Daxton chuckles and Carl's eyes widen. What? The beanie. Do you always wear that thing? Carl lifts a paw to it. Usually. You can't wear that. How do you even get it on? It's stretchy and my head fur looks awful. Seriously, you can't wear a beanie to an interview. Carl's getting all fidgety again, so Flynn butts in. Don't wear it. Oh, come on! He looks sad and angry at the same time, which gives me pause. You go to work with your shirt half off. I'll wear it if I want. This is my interview. Usually Flynn would banter back, calling Carl a stupid dumbass or something of that nature, but he says nothing. For a couple seconds of silence, Daxton coughs. Daxton looks at me, then back to Carl. Well, I reckon that's all right. Carl sighs and shifts around again. We watch him expectantly. This just feels weird is all. It's new. You'll get used to it. I pull out my phone and look at the time. All right, we really need to head out. We should get there early. As we head to the door, Daxton makes as if to follow us. Flynn turns around to face him as Carl heads out the door. Hey, Dax. He stops. What? After the interview, me, Chase, and some of our other friends, we're going to be doing something. Wait, is Carl on board with this plan too? Daxton raises a brow. Oh? So, could you fuck off for a bit? Jesus, Flynn. Probably wouldn't mind a guy with Daxton's attitude present at what will surely be the biggest downer of the week. And to keep Flynn in check. Daxton doesn't budge, giving Flynn an indiscernible look. After a while, Flynn just sighs, rubbing his brow. It's got to do with personal stuff. Oh, really? See, why didn't you just say that? You wouldn't want to come. There's going to be some heavy shit. Are you the heavy shit in question? Flynn says nothing. After a moment, Daxton just exhales and shakes his head. Just let me know how the interview goes. As the salamander passes me, he speaks in a hushed tone. You deserve better, man. I look down at my feet before heading out to the car. You don't. Carl still looks confused after Flynn and I came out to the car without Daxton. Where's Dude Man? I make a show of buckling my seatbelt. We'll talk about it after your interview. What? He's not coming. He's the guy who knows the guy who runs the place. Yeah, well, you weren't going to be bringing him inside with you anyway. Carl stares at the dashboard as I back out, pretending to be distracted so I can muster up something reassuring. You know, Carl, you should talk about some of your art while you're in there. I hear it's good to look like you have a passion, especially one that's tangentially related to what you do. To be honest, I have no clue what sort of skills you need at a print shop. I look in my rearview mirror at the Ram, who still isn't saying anything. Hopefully not many. By the way, Flynn. Flynn's nostrils flare as if he's bracing himself. The big lizard had to back his seat up all the way to give himself enough legroom in my tiny sedan. I need to stop by City Hall before we do the thing. Why? He responds with a wary dryness. I need to scan some photos to my thumb drive. I forgot to do it when I was there last. I know where everything is. I know where everything I need is. Shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. Yeah, okay. I got my key card in my wallet. Flynn scratches his groin idly, looking out the window as we pass the diner. Kinda surprised he didn't protest more. Carl stays quiet as we drive through the rest of the Echo, and I swerve to avoid all the potholes. As I'm merging onto the highway, Flynn speaks up. I cooked you some shit to celebrate you joined the workforce and such. Fancy-ass organic store ramen with this spiced sausage stuff and lasagna. Same recipe that my uncle used. There you go. Water time. That's premature, right? If there's a food reward waiting for you, your fat ass can do anything. Resist the urge to nod in agreement. Hope you're right. We fall back into silence and stays that way for the remaining 20-minute drive. Carl gets more nervous the closer we get. I can see his knees bouncing out of the corner of my eye as he stares out the window. Flynn reaches back and puts a hand on one of them as we pull into the parking lot of the printer shop. The Gila mutters something to the Ram. I can't make out any of it. You look awesome and you're going to do amazing. Carl starts taking deep breaths, staring out the windshield. Just be yourself. Everyone loves a relaxed employee. I wish you'd let me have smoke before we left. Yeah, go to an interview smelling like pot. Great idea. Carl giggles nervously, but otherwise doesn't move. You want us to go in with you? Carl shakes his head quickly, unbuckling his seatbelt as he opens the car door. No, man, I'll be fine. Okay, cool. I'll be waiting. He looks to Flynn, who just gives him a little nod. I grin at him, but he just shuts the door and ambles up to the print shop. He pushes on the doors, and, when they don't move, he pushes harder, shaking the glass. I start to open my door to tell him to pull instead, but he seems to figure it out before I have to and disappears inside. Oh, Carl. Fucking hell. I look over and Flynn has his palms over his face. I sigh, leaning my seat back. I try to take a nap because it feels like I haven't slept in ages for some reason, though the heat beating down through the window starts becoming too uncomfortable. I turn the AC back on and shuffle through the stations, but I only find Twang Country and Mariachi. I look at the time. 10:10 a.m. If the interview started on time and he was probably almost done with it by now. I sort of want to go inside, but I know Carl wouldn't want me to. I settle back again and close my eyes, trying to get some relief from the failing AC. The door rattles and I hear haphazard hoof steps. I open my eyes, but no one's there. Flynn doesn't seem to have noticed, his own eyes closed. I do catch some movement disappearing around the side of the store, and I lean around to get a better look. I wait, but Carl, at least I think it's Carl, doesn't come back from around the corner. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.